Right.
So yeah, just pick up that sword, Squire Tuttle.
Squire Tuttle. I feel like that name has been used before in the Game of Thrones lore, but I don't know.
I'll have to take your word for it. Okay, you've actually like read the books
I've read.
in addition
Okay.
to the TV show.
Okay.
Is that right?
So
Okay. What's your Game of Thrones background?
I've watched the TV show and I've read the Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
To accompany my knowledge of it. I don't know if that necessarily. I've read pretty far in the
Okay,
Wikipedia.
so wait, so for you, it's like, what they hinted at in the show wasn't enough. You still wanted to know more,
That's what happened. Basically, I wanted
but
to know.
not so much that you wanted to go and read the original source material.
Not so much. You know what? I felt like I wanted to know a bit more. I wanted to know one person. Have you ever fallen into the Wikipedia black hole where you look for one thing and you're like, what is that? And you click and you just go to the next thing?
Oh, it's like the hyperlink vortex
yeah,
where you just keep
it just
clicking on
keeps
the
on
new
going.
thing and the
Yep.
new thing and the new. Okay.
And that's what happened. So, hi, I'm Drekken,
And I'm Wayne.
and we're playing Game of Thrones.
Episode 1 from Telltale Games. It's an adventure game.
Yay! What's the subtitle? From Iron to Ice?
Something like that, yeah. Iron from Ice.
Iron from Ice.
Yeah, I believe that's what it's called.
So I am
And,
so I don't take orders from you. Like, I don't know.
From you. Orders from him.
Bless you.
Yep.
Uh,
That was a cold, probably.
Fetch him some wine.
But yeah, the nice thing about this particular game is that it's an adventure game. So there was a Game of Thrones game that came out before this. I don't know if you remember it.
no.
Okay, and that was kind of like your standard RPG with like stats and leveling and fighting with swords and all that sort of
Who
thing.
made that?
It was a smaller company, smaller Western company. It was published by Atlas, the small Japanese publisher. And
Oh,
it didn't do very well though. I mean, it's like a lot
I
of,
haven't heard of it, so obviously not.
yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of the reviews, they said, yeah, it's like they had some interesting ideas, but unfortunately the company was just too small to pull this off at the level that people would have wanted. So now we've got Telltale, and they do adventure games, and they're a small company, and they know it, so they were like,
But they make really good adventure.
they make really good adventure games, but that's because they play to their strengths, which are like, plot, it's like intrigue, really tough decisions that kind of make
The
you
Wolf
bite your
Among
nails.
Us is definitely one of the really it's beautiful best games I've played.
Have you actually had much experience with the Fables world?
No,
the
but it
comics
made me
before?
love it. Oh, winter is coming.
Oh, you actually said that.
Winter is coming.
And they're cheer. Okay, I don't understand why they would cheer.
I
about
guess
that,
they actually wanted me to say their house words, but I thought winter is coming was a bit more appropriate.
Well, that you're definitely playing this quite a bit jerkier than it's like I was when I went through this.
the art style of this game is so fascinating. Like, it looks like an oil painting.
It's very, very different. I mean, I like the fact that you can actually see like blotches and brush strokes and stuff like that, as well as like if you look at like the far background, you can tell that that's done by hand. That's 2D. That's like digital mimicking oil painting, but the background is definitely like actual 2D, not the tents and all that. That's obviously polygonal. But yeah, the
thing is, I never noticed it, but yeah, you're right. It's very like it's
painting.
It's painting.
Yeah, it's very painterly. For whatever reason, Telltale, when they made this game, before this, they'd done like cell shading. It's like stuff that simulated like comic books and cartoons, like with The Wolf Among Us and like Tales from Borderlands. But for whatever reason, when they came across Game of Thrones, rather than just even though it's based on the TV series, they decided we're not going to try and do photoreal. Instead, they were like, well, okay, what do you think of when you think of fantasy? You think classic, you think old, oil painting. So the entire aesthetic of this is as if the entire universe was rendered in an oil painting style.
So
And it's a very, very different look.
is this the same engine though that ran the other two games, Wolf Among Us and?
It is. It's just that the art style is different. But I mean, you can tell from the animations and it's like the characters and all that sort of thing. It definitely is the same engine.
Is this a Telltale engine? Okay.
Yeah, they don't use Unreal or anything.
I didn't think
like
so.
that.
Okay.
I mean, they don't really need to use Unreal for
Not really.
what they're doing. Yeah.
Give me a hand?
One of the interesting things, though, about this game is that from a technical point of view, it's probably their most ambitious game because I don't actually recall a Telltale game before which, packs so many characters. Like, even just guys walking around in the background.
It's only been like maybe one or two characters that you can play as. Like this one, here you can play as multiple characters.
And yeah, that's
different
another new
points
thing
of
is that
views.
multiple characters, just like the TV show where you're just dropping over to different viewpoints. This is happening here and that's happening over there, blah, blah, blah. So they had to do that with this game. But as a result, I'm kind of surprised that this game actually chugs a bit, even on the PS4.
Yeah, I was saying that the engine, I was about to say, it's like maybe the engine's a bit dated. I feel that this is a very ambitious game in terms of graphics, in terms of look and everything, and it may be that, you know, I don't know if you want to build a new engine straight from scratch for this project, but this engine may not have been strong enough to hold.
Yeah, for a game of this scale.
Yeah,
you know, it's like,
exactly.
for something like Tales from Borderlands, it's like their engine is still
Yeah, for
fine.
sure, for
because
sure.
you're still only dealing with like 3 or 4 characters at a time. But yeah, when you have scenes like this with all the guys in the background and you know the camera is moving and blah blah blah, the Telltale engine begins to show its limitations. It's unfortunate considering that.
What about the platform limitations? I haven't got to play it on the PC, but is it maybe just the PS4 rendering or Xbox One rendering versus?
There may also be. Oh, here. Okay, check this out. There, completely 2D castle. That's,
Oh, look at
that's
that.
completely done by hand.
I love
you
it.
can tell that's not a polygonal object. But I would expect that on the PC, this probably operates at its best.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think
I'm
that
part of
they-
the PC master race,
Yeah.
so for me, I never really get to that kind of experience. But I always wonder if it's when it's on a console, for a game like this caliber, how much of it is actually the game versus the platform?
Okay, well, it does depend because Tales from Borderlands operates like a dream on the PS4. It's like, it doesn't chug at all. But the same game on the PS3, and the PS3 is just like had a horrible history with Telltale games. There are like a lot of performance issues there because they just never bothered.
Is this also on the PS3 or is it PS4 new gen? Like
No,
new
no,
gen?
no. It's also on the PS3. It's on everything. So you can
So-
get this on the Xbox 360,
Oh, okay.
the PS3, the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PC, and presumably Mac.
I guess so. So it looks like here now I'm actually I've discovered something. Something's
Yes,
happening.
because this particular game's first episode takes place during episode 9 of season 3.
The Red Wedding. Oh my
Red
gosh.
Wedding.
Warlord Forrester, sorry, but when you're on your own, you gotta figure
And-
Oh gosh, you gotta figure that out, man. You gotta be quick.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing with Telltale games. It's like it's the time choice. It's like it's a bit different from BioWare games. It's like where they'll give you a difficult choice, but the world stops, and it's like. I know that some BioWare fans, they've talked about how they've agonized for like a half an hour before finally making a decision.
I've actually turned off the screen,
Yeah.
come back into it almost half a day later,
Yeah.
and then make the decision.
Yeah, whereas Telltale does not give you that option. It's like, no, dude, you've got to make that decision, and you've got to
Kind of
make
cheat.
it
I
now.
push pause.
Okay.
For some, for Wolves Among Us, I paused a couple of times.
Okay.
Oh.
Keep going, and there you
Oh.
go. Just down to you got. Okay,
Oh, get smacked. No, everyone's dying. The Foresters. I always wondered what happened in the camp. I was like, why didn't anyone come save Lord Stark?
And now you know. It's because
Now we know.
They
We
had
were-
problems of their own to deal with because somebody had obviously assumed we've got to take care of the camp.
Yeah, they got ambushed. So, oh, see, I'm a big fan of. And now I wonder if what you do in this game will affect the other chapters that will come by. Is there 6 more or 5 more?
5 more episodes. This is a total of 6 episodes, which is a bit different.
That's
for
actually a
Telltale.
lot larger too.
Normally they do 5 episodes, yeah, but for whatever reason they announced that it's going to be only 6 episodes.
Like
So
how
it's
much
oh,
was
wow,
The
okay.
Walking Dead? The Walking Dead was
Walking Dead was 5.
5. Okay, all
Walking
right.
Dead, both Walking Dead were 5 seasons. Tales from Borderlands is also 5 seasons. Wolf Among Us was also 5 seasons.
It's episodes, right? It can be like because
Or 5 episodes.
yeah, because Walking Dead had 2 seasons.
Yeah. 2 seasons, 5 episodes.
5
each.
episodes each. Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, for whatever reason, they decided they wanted to do 6 episodes for this one. I don't know what the thinking behind that was. I guess they just decided they had a bigger story.
Now, is this story canon?
I don't know, actually. I mean, it takes place within
The
TV
universe, right?
Yeah, the TV universe, not the novel universe. So I don't know whether HBO would consider this canon with their TV series.
Well, I read that HBO was a consultant on it, so
Yeah.
yes, that HBO wouldn't allow something that would conflict with the shows and
Yeah,
other
or
things.
necessarily spoil things. which
Spoil
they,
things.
They had planned to reveal for like a later season. So yeah.
So imagine,
Obviously that concern. And
Oh,
there we go.
who was that?
That was the son, the firstborn of the Forrester house.
oh,
So
no.
he's just down. The heir to the Forrester house is gone. There's the lord of the Forrester house.
I'm
still
guessing
fighting a
that
good fight, and
the Forrester house actually really does exist in the world. Because they're never mentioned in the story. Like in the they're never. Oh, he's gone.
yeah, they're
never mentioned in the show.
Yeah.
Per se, but I'm sure in the books they actually do exist.
yeah, there's I'm even in the show. I don't know. There may have been like an offhanded mention of like these houses are aligned with us, and Forrester might have been on that list. I don't know. It's possible that could have happened, but
That makes some sense.
Although,
I
yes,
guess
I
they're
mean-
probably a minor house. I'm gonna guess they're not a.
yeah, I mean, according to the fiction of this game,
They're not a Targaryens or.
yeah, no, they are responsible for a valuable rare
Resource,
wood,
yeah.
ironwood,
Oh.
and you're okay. So Squire Tuttle is still in trouble. No, he's saved. Okay.
Yeah, I guess they reside in a fortress somewhere.
Yeah.
That's very important.
And they're in charge of ironwood, which apparently is like this very valuable wood that very few places can actually nurture and grow correctly. And they're one of the few that can do it.
So that's going to be a desirable resources from the crown, I can imagine. That's
Yeah,
gonna,
exactly.
It's
It's
going
like-
to play a big role.
Very few places can correctly create or grow ironwood, and House Forrester is the best of the batch that are
I
capable.
wonder if
of
it's
doing
kind of like Valerian steel, where it's one of those that it makes weapons and it's
Yeah.
incredibly valuable, and if a weapon is made from it, it amplifies that weapon's value.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I assume it's the same thing with ironwood. So,
If you were to choose a house, what house would you choose?
I mean, I'm a sucker for the underdog, and Stark is definitely in a lot of trouble.
Oh, Stark.
Yeah, I know. It's
Oh,
like
my
it's a
goodness.
pretty pedestrian choice.
I was like, could you have chosen a more homogenous
yeah,
like,
I mean,
house?
it's like, yeah, when you see how much stuff has happened to them, it's just like, oh my god, you poor people.
the house Stark is barely even available anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they no longer control the North. You know, they've lost the head of the house. They've lost the second head of the house.
Yeah.
Now you just got the couple of scattered pups all over the land side.
And yet, at the same time, it ain't over until it's over. So,
True.
since, it's like Targaryen is obviously also proving that it's not over until
Yeah,
it's over.
I'm a big Targaryen fan. I love the Targaryens.
Well, I suppose then it's like they're even more of an underdog than the Starks are. So it's like they just got reduced to one.
like 2 people.
And then one.
And then what? Yep.
One with dragons.
So that's a big thing. One with dragons is a pretty. Oh, Lord Forrester.
Lord Forrester is okay. Yeah, Lord Forrester is just down.
Gosh darn the phrase.
So that's it. You know, it's like
What a good place to start.
the main Forresters are like just out of it. And like what could possibly happen at this point? To there you go. The official Game
this-
of Thrones opening.
This part alone makes the game worth
Yeah.
just playing in my eyes, right? Like I love it. I almost want to do the humming, but I don't think we have time for the humming. So I think this is a good opportunity to say I think I really love the game. Really love just for the few seconds I played. I love Telltale, so I'll buy anything that they make. When they announce this game, I automatically open my wallet and threw it up at the screen, expecting.
I
the game
mean,
to come.
I've played it and I've reviewed it, and I will tell people it's like if you like the Game of Thrones TV show, then this feels like you are a member of the cast, making your own decisions and wondering, did I just say the wrong thing? Am I screwed now? So,
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, there's a-
Changed the entire lore from this game. So I'm Drekken.
and I'm Wayne, and this is the Game of Thrones opening credits as we close.